The CPU on the Freedom K64 board is much more complex than the one on the HCS08. We have here a total of 13 32-bit registers for dealing with general purpose things such as your variables, and char, integer, whatever you have will be processed through these 13 different registers instead of one 8-bit register like we had on the HCS08. We have a stack pointer here, but there's other stack pointers as well, which can be used for other stacks, so it can have more than just one stack compared to the S08, which typically has one stack. We have a program counter here, which, as we said before, is common to all CPUs. It has another register here called the link register, which is used for return addresses for functions. They have something here called the program status register, which is similar but more complex than the condition code register of the HCS08. When we take a look down here, we can see that it does have N, Z, V, and C, but that's part of the application program status register compared to the interrupt program status register compared to the execution program status register. It's a lot more complicated in terms of how things are run here. You may remember this program from earlier on where we're looking at the sizes of various variable types. And this is in an environment called Kinetis Design Studio that we'll be using as part of this course later. And we can see that this small program here again uses these general purpose registers R0 through R12. And also the program counter, as you start tracing through, as you can see here, as we trace to here, the program counter will keep track of the address of the next instruction that will be performed. When you start looking at the details of how these registers get used, you realize that it's not as simple as the HCS08. If we look at the system level views here, we have privilege modes, we have exception modes, and under that we have the ability for us to write our own code here, but that's separate from system mode, from supervisor mode, from monitor mode, from abort mode. These registers get used differently depending on what mode you happen to be in. And the hardware abstraction layer will quite nicely take care of all of these details so we do not have to concern ourselves with this as we start writing our programming.